Hey guys, Boston Chris here with another Ark Taming series video, and this one is not really taming per se, and this is the last creature that will be appearing on Ark Survival Evolved. That's right, we are talking about the Rhyniognatha, the giant mosquito, or dragonfly, or bug, or whatever it is. I'm going to show you guys how to do it, all the mechanics of it, and the best way to go about all of this as well, okay? So, yeah, let's get into it. So, the first thing you want to do is build you a trap. Now, for me, all I've done is put 7 behemoth gates up, okay? You have to use stone gates because the metal ones do not have, like, a ceiling on it. And so with the metal ones, the bug will just fly out. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing you have to do to prepare for this is you have to go around killing Rhyniognatha males. And they will drop a Rhyniognatha pheromone. And those are super important for this process, okay? Now, these only spawn on Lost Island and the island. We are on the Lost Island map. And we have noticed on this map, they seem to spawn in 1 or 2 at a time, which is really unfortunate. But the one that you're going to use to tame or to impregnate your creature is a female. Always a female. Okay, and you need to have a high-level female. The higher level, the better percentage you're going to get on your baby. And I'll kind of explain that in a little while as well. Now, on my server, we have a level 180 is max level. 180 is the best. That's what we have in the trap right now. And we got her from pretty far away. What we did is we just used a Pteranodon or an Argentavis, something like that that can take a few hits, and just use that to get her to follow you to the trap. Now, if you want to do this on site, you can do that as well. But I have a base over here that's important because I have all of the material I'm going to need later on. Okay. Now, the very first thing you are absolutely going to need for this process, I feel, is a harpoon launcher, which you get at level 43, and net projectiles, which you also get at level 43. And the reason for that is because you have to get her down low, her health down low. It has to be 10% of her total health. So the safest way to do that, in my opinion, is to get her knocked with the net. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just get her knocked with the net. And I go in typically with my pike. I wouldn't do this with a gun if I was you, because you could do more damage than you mean to. And I'm just going to get her down. She's got 9,300 health, so anything under 900 is going to be plenty. Okay, I usually hit her a few more times for good measure, just in case. And then I'm going to throw out the dino that I want to use. Make sure he has a saddle on him, because, I mean, I guess you don't have to have a saddle on him. But I like to put a saddle on him, just so I can get him out of here after. Because you cannot cryo them up or use a soul trap. Now, what you're waiting for is you're waiting for the net to break. I'm using a Giga. The higher the drag weight, the better for your baby. Now, I have noticed Gigas, Carcharodontosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Brontosaurus, all the bigger drag weights give you 100% host level. Alright, so now we're going to go into our inventory and we're going to feed the Giga the pheromone attractive. Or the pheromone. And that's going to mark it as a host for the Rhyniognatha larvae. Now, at this point, I usually get off the Giga, and I'll stand outside the trap until I see that it's been impregnated. And you're waiting for the words to show up. At least for me, I'm waiting for the words to show up on them. I forgot to put them on passive as well. It's not working. Interesting. Let's run around to the other side. Okay, so I think it's done it. It started to fly away. Perhaps? Can't tell. It has not. So this Rhynio is acting really strange to me. And I don't know why it's acting like that. So we just leave the Giga in there until it gets pregnant. Until it's been infested. The first time it has not worked. The health is definitely low enough. Did it do it? I think it just did it. Yep, it just did it. Alright, so that's the thing. And as soon as it does it, it's going to try to fly away like it's torpid, right? So what you want to do is just net it again. That way you can get your Giga out. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So now we're going to pull the Giga out of the garage. And we can shut the Rhynio in there. And we can do this as many times as we want. As long as we don't kill the Rhynio. So now we're going to bring the Giga over to the base because this is where I have all of my stuff. Now, from this moment on, you are going to need a metric ton of food. Because while it has a baby in it, it is literally eating so fast. Even faster than normal Gigas would eat. So that's the first thing you're definitely going to need is food. Lots of food. Okay, so I usually put a couple of stacks of food, and I make sure I have loads and loads and loads of food before I even attempt this. Okay, now you do have to keep an eye on your food too, because it will drain faster than it can actually eat it. So you might have to force feed it food just to keep the food level up. Okay, now you're going to notice several things on the host here. Now, in order to see all this information here, you just hit the H key on your keyboard. I'm not sure what it is on console, but you're going to notice the host size quality is 100%. And you will also notice that the egg quality is 100%. Now, the host quality is the dinosaur that has the baby in it. That's the Giga, okay? The higher the drag weight, the higher the host size quality is going to be. And my friend just got his first one. Let's go. Congratulations, Chronic. So on his Reaper, for example, his Reaper had 73% host quality. It was not as high of a drag weight as the Gigas. So Rexes are going to be lower, anything lower than that. Now, anything higher drag weight than like a Trike is about the lowest level that you can get. Otherwise, the Rhynio will just ignore your tame. So the next thing is your egg quality. The egg quality depends on the level of the Rhynio, the wild Rhynio, that you have in your trap. Okay, the higher the level, the higher your egg quality is going to be. If you have a max level Rhynio, you're going to have 100% egg quality. That's just the way it is. Now the Craving satisfaction is 0%. You will have 5 chances to get Cravings fed over 15 or I think it's 18 minutes on my server. Whatever my rates are, it's every 3 minutes for the Cravings. And we're going to have one here in a second. And I will show you how to do this. So the bottom line, our Giganotosaurus will feed, he wants superior kibble, which I have in my inventory. Let me show you. Right there. It's right there. You don't have to have it in your hotbar. You just go up to the Giga and feed it to it. And now you'll notice it says 20%. Now, let me explain how this works. Much like a normal breed, when you breed a T-Rex with a T-Rex, a male and a female, much like normal breeding, the baby is going to have a combination of the stats from the mom and the dad, and a combination of the colors from the mom and the dad. The way this is different is you're still going to get the combination between the mom and the dad. In this case, it's the Rhynio and the host, or the egg and the host, right? But your craving satisfaction, your host size quality, and your egg quality determines how much percentage of those stats that you get, right? So, for example, I have a Giga here that has 408 stamina, which is 40 points in stam. Now, just like a regular baby, this Rhynio is going to have a chance of getting that stamina stat on the baby. If I get 100% craving, host size, and egg, then I am going to get 100% of either the Rhynio stat or the Giga stat in this case, right? So, for example, let's see how much time I have. 90 seconds. Okay, so this one has 46 points in health. My Giga does. The Rhynio has has 33 points in health, okay? So you're either going to get, if you get 100% on all three of those numbers, again, that's craving, egg, and host, I am going to get 100% of one of those two numbers, either 46 points or 33 points. If I don't get 100% on all three of those, then I am going to get a lower number. I'm going to get a percentage of one of those two stats. So, obviously, when you have a baby, you get a roll. Whatever the roll is, it's either going to roll, you get your dad's stat or your mom's stat. In this case, I'm calling the Rhynio the dad and the host the mom, right? So if I don't get 100, 100, and 100, I'm only going to get a certain percentage of either the mom or dad's stat, okay? That's just the way it is, and that's why you want to have all of this craving food, okay? Now, I'm going to list all the things that it can ask for as cravings in the description below. So make sure you're checking that out as well. The hardest thing that I have found, giant bee honey. So just go in here. I should have some of that, I hope. I do. Just put it in your inventory. It does not have to be in your hotbar. You just go up to it and feed it the honey. And now I'm at 40%. The hardest thing that it will ask for is Hesperornis golden eggs. And those are kind of difficult to come by. If you don't know how to do that, you simply, I say simply, but it's not easy. You need a female Hesperornis. You take the female Hesperornis to a pond or a lake where there's lots of fish. Just go out there and have her attack your target to kill fish. Every 5 fish, she will come to you on the shore, and she will hopefully lay an egg. Sometimes she does, sometimes she won't. And there's a chance it will be a golden Hesperornis egg. To my knowledge, that's the only way to get a golden Hesperornis egg in this game. And it does ask for those. It'll ask for Carcha eggs, it'll ask for our Quetzal, or not our, it'll ask for Quetzal eggs, Carcha eggs, Giga eggs, golden Hesperornis eggs. Those are the 4 eggs that I've seen. It'll also ask for things like Achatina Paste. The whole list is in the comments down below. So obviously, once you have one trapped up, you can do this over and over again, right? And now the cool thing about this is, again, just keep your eye on the food stat on your Giga, right? So you just want to make sure that it has food in it. Because if it starves to death before the larva is completely incubated, then it will die. It will die, and then there's no more larva, okay? Also, you cannot cryopod or soul trap the animal once it is incubated, or once it is infected, or whatever it is. Because if you do, you will lose the baby, which is fine. If you don't like something happens, maybe you miss a craving, you don't have a craving food or something like that, you could reset it and start over again if you want. The other thing that's really cool about this, and I'm losing honey, so let me go put that back in the fridge. The other thing that's really cool about this is you could just stack mutations on a Giga or a Carcha or something like that, to stack mutations forever on it. and you have a chance of the mutated stats going on to the baby, just as you would. It's not based on base stats. It's based on current stats, right? Whatever the current base stats are of your animal, right? So, like, if your wild tame had 49 points in melee, but your current line or your current animal has 89 points in melee because you've gotten 20 mutations in melee, then you have a chance of the 89 points going on to the Rhynio baby, which is cool. This is kind of RNG in a way, again, just like regular breeding, except it's harder because you still have that 50-50, or really it's 60-40 of getting the stats onto the baby. Now, what I have noticed is it seems like the host is the father when it comes to stats, and it wants Battle Tartare. So let's go get Battle Tartare. Just put that in our inventory, run out and feed it to it. And good to go. We should be at 60%. Let's go. But yeah, I have noticed that it seems like more times than not, this is like my 5th or 6th one, more times than not, the baby gets the colors of the host more than the Rhynio. So I'm assuming, based on the few that I have created, that the 60% comes from the dino that you're losing. Now that's the other thing too. What is that? Okay, once this incubation is up, your host dino, this Giga, is going to die. Okay, it is going to die. So make sure you have plenty of whatever creature it is that you're sacrificing, right? Because you will lose it. I have lots of Gigas, so I have found so far, I have tried Brachiosauruses and the Gigas, and they both work at 100% host size. The Brontos and Carcharodontosauruses also work at 100% host size. I think if you go down from there, it goes down, the percentage goes down based on drag weight. And then again, the Rhynio's egg quality is based on the level of the Rhynio that you're using to essentially impregnate the host. Also, when the Rhynios are babies, I've had somebody ask me this. So here's the last one that I just made. When the Rhynios are babies, they will eat meat. Okay, just like, yeah, they will eat meat. That's what they eat. So you don't need like chitin or anything like that or anything weird. They just eat the regular meat. This is one that I got off the same, like a brother or a sister of this Giga here is what I got this one off of. And you can see, I'm going to stand behind it so you can see which stats went to what. So this one, the health and the melee came from the host, right? In fact, most of the things came from the host. The only thing that didn't was the weight. Yeah, the only thing that didn't was the weight. The weight came from the Rhynio over there. But you can see that I got 100% of everything because of the host size, egg size, and the Craving satisfaction. We have another Craving coming now. And Carcharodontosaurus Egg. Ha ha ha, I have some of those, Ponk. So we'll grab one of those, and we'll put it in our inventory. And my inventory is like, nah, dude. So we're just going to grab one then. Some bitches is heavy. We just go overfeed it. Now we're at 80%. Now, one thing I have noticed, and this is a little bit, aggravating or annoying. Actually, aggravating is probably the right word. I have noticed twice this has happened to me out of 6 or 7 of doing this, 6 or 7 times doing this. I have noticed, and comment down below if this has happened to you. I have noticed that if it asks for the same craving twice in a row, it will bug out and will not let me feed it. It will not let me feed it the craving the second time if it's like if it asks for it like consecutively the same thing twice. And that's kind of stinks, because then you're kind of screwed. You have to either cryo your sacrifice or whatever and start over, which can be a pain in the butt. But yeah, that's the process to do it. First, find you a high level. Actually, first you need to kill a bunch of males, get yourself the pheromones, so you can get a high level female to be interested in your dino, so it will impregnate it. Find a high level Rhynio, set up a trap just like that one. Kite the Rhynio into the trap, close the doors, net the Rhynio, get the Rhynio down under 10% health. It will not impregnate otherwise. Once it's down under 10% health, get your sacrifice uncryoed into the trap. Put the pheromone into the sacrifice. Wait till the Rhynio gets out of the net. Force feed the pheromone into your sacrifice. Then get out of the trap and wait for the Rhynio to impregnate your sacrificial lamb. And then once it does, re-net the Rhynio, walk your dino out of the trap, close the door, and then just come up here and, make sure you have your food craving stuff close by, and then just wait for the cravings. And then that's it. And then of course once the Rhyniognatha larva comes out of your host, it comes out. I don't know if this is meant or if it's a bug or what, but for me it always comes out at 30% maturation. I don't know why. I'm assuming that's the way it's meant to be, but it comes out at 30% every single time. And I'll show you that here in 3 minutes when it's ready. So as you can see on my server, I have about 3 to 5 minutes leeway to get the craving satisfactions fed, which is, so that's not a whole lot of time, a whole lot of leeway time. So that's why I'm ready. I'm ready to sprint and go get whatever it is it wants. So this time it wants Lazarus Chowder, which is right there. And so again, now you will see that I am at 100% on all 3 craving satisfaction, host size quality, and egg quality, which means I am guaranteed of getting 100% of whatever stats are rolled into the baby, either from the host or from the wild Rhynio. So yeah, anyway guys, that's how you do it. That's how you make Rhynio babies. Once you do have a Rhynio baby, they do not breed with each other, right? So you do not, at least at this point in time, maybe they'll change that in the future if we complain enough, but yeah, they do not, you cannot breed the bugs themselves. This is how you get the bugs. So basically what you want to do is try to breed up the stats as high as you can on your host animal, and then you have to hope for a good roll, that you get more of the stats from your creature rather than the wild creature. And that's just, keep doing it until you get a good roll, essentially. I got a really good roll on the last baby. Like I said, I'll bring it out again. The only thing I missed was the weight on it. The weight is from the Rhynio, the wild Rhynio. I got extremely lucky on this one. I'm really happy with the colors on it too, so that's pretty dope. But yeah, we'll compare it once this one is born, just to see what our roll is on this one. I imagine it'll probably be not as good. I imagine it will not be as good as the last one. So yeah, so we've gotten really lucky. The food has held up. We still have plenty for the next one. So I can remove that out now. We're probably going to be good. He's not going to get to 0 food. Not in 30 seconds, so. But yeah, this is a really cool concept. I really like the bug as well. It has a lot of uses. It carries a lot of animals that other things can't carry. Because, you know, I mean, we've been using Argies and Quetzals and things and Wyverns to carry stuff around, right? Now this bug is incredible. So here we go. It is dead, and let's see what we get. Alright, so that one, unfortunately, is up on there. So this is a level 201. So you can see right off the rip that this is a lot lower level, right? So here's the one that we just got. This is a level 201. And then this one is the 240 that we had already. Right? So 20... That's cool. We'll try this again. So I can compare them. So this one, yeah, you can see here it got the food, the weight, and the stam from the Giga, and the rest of it came from the wild Rhynio. Yeah. So yeah, this one is obviously much, much better in a lot of different ways. So that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so that's how you do it with the Rhyniognatha's. If you found this video to be helpful, please show the video some love. I appreciate you checking out the content here on the channel. And yeah, if you want to see anything specific on the channel, let me know. Let me know what works for you on this this new creature. And yeah, I'll catch you down the road.